Brought to you by ExpressCare Health and Skin Center. Get in, get out, get better.
Welcome back to Healthy Living. If you're just joining us, ExpressCare's Dr. Jitka Lom is with us in studio, and we're talking about the ever so popular e-cigs, or vaping as most people on the island like to call it. Before we get to our viewer questions, we did want to talk about some other vapors that are out there. We've heard of sniffing. I've done reports on that. And let's talk a little bit about what some of the most popular ones are and just the health hazards that they have to our bodies.
Yeah, they're very dangerous. Things like paint thinner, nail polish remover, whiteout, even markers, certain markers. Kids can start sniffing those and really get into a lot of trouble. It can, in rare circumstance, or even gasoline, of course, in a paper bag. And this causes heart problems, irregular heartbeat, and actually can result in sudden death on your first sniff. Wow. And if you continue this, these type of chemicals are actually organic solvents, meaning that they easily cross the blood-brain barrier, meaning you sniff them into your lungs, from your lungs into the blood, straight up into the brain within only a few seconds, within about maybe 10 seconds, it's up inside your brain, destroying your brain cells. And this is a permanent destruction that occurs with these chemicals, and so people will develop neurological problems, meaning memory problems, sedation, convulsions, all kinds of serious brain problems that are oftentimes irreversible. So this is something that we have to take very seriously. I think it's much worse than alcohol. Alcohol most of the time will, at least people can get drunk, but it'll wear off and their brain can recover. These kind of chemicals often will cause irreversible and permanent damage. So you have to talk to your children and explain to them that these kind of chemicals are very, very dangerous, and they should be used only in a well-aerated area. Your nail polish, you should not be doing that in your bedroom with everything closed. You should be doing that outside where there's a lot of nice fresh air, and just telling them about the hazards of sniffing these kind of chemicals.
Okay, sounds good. Well, let's get to some of our viewer questions now. Somebody is asking if e-cigs and vaping is sanitary. How do you clean them?
It's a great question, because people do pass them around, and certainly, mouth-to-mouth contact on that plastic tip, you can certainly catch a disease. It remains to be seen whether you can catch fungal infections and so on from the little chamber, sitting around, gathering mold and so on. Probably is going to be the case down the road. Not that I wouldn't share it.
Okay. Is it really a cheaper alternative than cigarettes?
It just depends what you're mixing in it. It can be quite a lot cheaper than cigarettes, because the nicotine, you can buy pure nicotine to put into your e-cigarette, and it's quite inexpensive, just a few drops. I think it's maybe some people quote about 10 times cheaper than cigarettes. But it depends what kind of flavorings and all of that you're putting in there too, and how much you're using it. So
right, okay.
And the device itself, I think, is about $80–90, depending on which one you buy.
Wow. Okay. Better just not to do it at all.
Yeah, you really don't need to breathe in anything except fresh air. That's what we're aiming for.
So go outside and just take a few deep breaths.
Yeah.
All right. What will constant vapors do to your body? Does it affect the brain? And we did talk a little bit about this earlier.
It can affect your brain. The reason people use nicotine through cigarettes or patches, gum, Nicorette gum, and now the e-cigarette is because nicotine has both a stimulant effect. When you first start at a low level of nicotine in your brain, you will get a little bit more alert and more aware of things, and then as you get a higher level in your bloodstream, it's a sedative, meaning a calm down sort of chemical. So that's why people use it, to become more alert or to calm themselves down and handle anxiety. And there are a lot healthier ways to handle anxiety than smoking anything. So I think if you guys can work towards exercising and thinking good thoughts and just getting yourself away from any addiction, that would be much better.
Okay, and we did kind of touch on this next question. I'm trying to quit smoking. Are e-cigarettes a good way of tapering down to quit? Again, that all goes back to whether
it can work for people if they're very disciplined, meaning that they know how many cigarettes they smoke per day. Now they're going to transfer to e-cigarettes, and they're going to taper down their nicotine till it gets down to nothing. But the studies show that generally people quit when they just put their mind to it and go cold turkey. In the end, that's their most successful method of quitting. So this is one additional method for trying, and it may turn out down the road that e-cigarettes are not as bad. They're okay, but you should just know that you're taking a risk, because the true health risks are not known at this time.
Okay, and our last question real quickly is there such thing as secondhand vapor, and is it harmful?
Yeah, there is secondhand vapor, and it can be harmful, particularly to people with allergies, sort of like strong perfumes, and also to those with asthma. It could trigger an asthma attack. So again, this is something that shouldn't be done in closed spaces or probably public spaces on Guam.
Okay, well, thanks so much, Doc. That was very, very informative. Yeah. Doc will be back again next week for a really fun show. We're excited about this one. Dr. Lom will be talking about love. Actually, we'll be doing a fun truth or myth about love show. Is chocolate really an aphrodisiac? Can being in love give you a longer lifespan? I'll be guessing whether they're truth or myth. Dr. Lom will have the answers for us when she returns next week. Stay with us.